The World Cup 2026 is here and it is being hosted in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. This is the largest World Cup we've ever had with 48 teams, with 12 groups split into 4, with obviously the best 2 going through and the third best 8 teams also going through into the next round. This is going to be a very interesting World Cup because it's very like quite a lot of unexpected teams, a lot of teams that can pull surprises, some interesting groups. So let's go through them, and then I'll give you my predictions of how I think these groups will go. So let's look at Group A. Group A, we've got Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and Czechia. Group B, we've got Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Qatar, and Switzerland. Group C, we've got Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Group D, we've got USA, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Group E, we've got Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador. Group F, we've got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Group G, we've got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Group H, we've got Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Group I, which is probably the group of death, we've got France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. Group J, we've got the winners of the previous World Cup, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and then Jordan. Group K, we've got Portugal, Congo DR, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. And then the last group, Group L, we've got England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. These are some interesting groups with interesting matchups already in this group stage. So let's go ahead and predict Group A. So Group A, we've got Mexico, South Africa, Korea, and Czechia. This group has a lot of mixed bags, and I can see like any team, it's very unpredictable because any of these teams can end up first or last depending on how the games go. Obviously, the opening match is a rematch of the opening of the 2010 World Cup, South Africa versus Mexico. All bias aside, I think that South Africa would finish third in this group. Obviously, I'm hoping that they would get a points tally of at least 4 points from it, which would give them third place and entry into that eighth best third team. But I do think that Mexico will finish first. And then because I think they've got a solid squad, they're always very good at these World Cups. Second, I think I'm gonna go Czechia. They would use their height and their height and their physicality to overpower most of these teams that are there, and I think that they would dominate, but they would be behind Mexico, who have a better overall squad. Then, obviously, like I said, biases aside, I'm gonna put South Africa there. I think they could do something there. And Korea Republic, despite a player like Son being in Korea Republic, I haven't really seen them do much in these international tournaments. And I do think this group is going to be tight. I think that the points tally, the points gap, is going to be a point. I don't think one team is going to get a full. They're going to win all their matches in the group stages. So this is how I think Group A is going to go. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's go to Group B. Group B, we've got Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. How I think this one is gonna go is that I think that Switzerland will come up first. I think that the strongest team in this group. They do well at these tournaments, especially the Euros, World Cup. They do well in these. I think they have a better squad there. Then I think Canada can come second. Um, they are one of the three hosts. I think they're one of those. I mean, not strongest, but someone like Alfonso Davies can push them as high as possible if he is fit. If he's fit and he doesn't get injured, if he plays on that right wing instead of playing as a left back as he does in Bayern Munich, he is obviously going to need help from the rest of the players. But I think that they can do it. Bosnia, I think, will come third because I do think that they're stronger than a Qatar, which isn't really that much of a strong football side. So that's how I go. I go Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, Qatar. Okay. So Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia. Okay, there we go. Group C, we've got Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. This one should be fairly easy to predict. Brazil obviously are going to go first. I think they're the strongest one by far in this group. I wouldn't be surprised if Morocco's get a draw, even beat them somehow. Brazil are going to be going to this World Cup with Neymar back in the squad. They've got the likes of Vinicius, they've got Rafinha, they've got a solid squad. I think they can obviously dominate in this group. But the only challenge in this group would be Morocco. So I'm going Brazil first. Then Morocco second. Obviously finalists in the AFCON. Um, they're very compact team, very defensively solid. The likes of Hakimi are there. Um, they've got attack and defense that can basically get them the goals that they need and then just consolidate in their defense. Third place, I'm going Scotland. I think they'd also be one of the third best teams there. And then Haiti. I don't think this World Cup would be, one where Haiti can pull some surprises. I don't think so. I think that this is how the groups will go. Group D, we've got one of the other hosts, the USA, we've got Paraguay, we've got Australia, and we've got Turkey. The USA got lucky with this group, I won't lie to you. They got one of the easiest groups that they could actually get. And do I think that they could finish first? Yes. But it depends on how good or how well Turkey do. I'm gonna go Turkey first. I think they've got a solid squad with the likes of Arda Güler and Okan Kokcu playing in that squad. They've got Yildiz also, so I think they finish first in that group. Then I've got the USA. I think they're one of the strongest ones there. And then Australia, because they never disappointed these World Cups, they're also very, very strong. And then Paraguay finishing last. Another one like the Group A, where I think that it's going to be like a very, very tough group, a lot tighter than people would think. Group E, we've got Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. You would say that Germany would dominate this group, but they haven't been good. They haven't been good recently in the past, let's say, since they won the World Cup in 2014. But I do think that they would top this group with maybe 6 points, 5 points at most. I do think that Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuador would give them a challenge. So I do think Germany would finish first. And then between Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuador, I think that Cote d'Ivoire would finish second. I think collectively they might have a little bit of a stronger squad than Ecuador, who are very, very good. They're very good, very solid players like Hincapie, players like Caicedo playing in that team, Pacho, I think would help them a lot. But the lack of attacking threat might cost them a little bit against someone like Cote d'Ivoire, I think they've got a very strong squad. And then obviously Ecuador third, and then Curacao last. I think they just need to make sure they don't get battered. Group F, Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. This is another group of death. I won't lie to you. All these teams very, very tough. I don't see much of the points being like large gaps between them. I don't see any team getting like 9 out of 9. First, I'm going to go Netherlands. I think they should be topping this group, but I wouldn't be surprised if they finish third. Like, that's how strong this group is. Second, I'm probably gonna go Japan. They always seem to come up tops in these World Cups. They love the big occasions, but they are going to be missing a player like Mitoma, who was one of their best players. So players like Kubo would need to step in. Third, I'm gonna go Sweden. Someone like Gyökeres and Isak, who needs to pull up, would need to do some work there. And then Tunisia. But like I said, this can end up changing some way, somehow. Group G, we've got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium in the last World Cup got eliminated in the group stage. I do think that in this one they should make it through. Like, this World Cup has made it easier for teams like Belgium to go through because of that third place. I do think that they will make it, and I do think that they will top this group. I do think they'll most probably get six out of 9 points at least. So Belgium first. And then I think Egypt will get second. Players like Salah will probably be a lot stronger and a lot better than New Zealand and Iran. Third place, I'm probably gonna go New Zealand. I wouldn't be surprised if Iran and them just, they exchange places. But yeah, that's how I think it would go. Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. I think this one is a two-horse race between who would finish first. I wouldn't be surprised if Uruguay finished first, but Spain should be trying to finish first with 9 points. I think they're by far one of the favorites to win this World Cup. So I do think that they go first. And then Uruguay obviously goes second. They're one of the best squads, players like Valverde, Suarez if he's still playing, Bentancur. They should be one of the outside favorites or dark horses in this World Cup. Then I go Saudi Arabia third, and then Cape Verde fourth. And then group of death: France, Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. First, I'm going France. Like, despite it being the group of death, I think France have one of the best squads in this World Cup. The likes of Mbappe, Doué, Barcola, Thuram. They have just so many players that I can think of in that front line, in that midfield, that defense. I think they just crush it there. In second place, and I wouldn't be surprised if second and third kind of interchange. I think I'm gonna go Senegal. The reigning African champs. You can't say anything about them. They're one of the strongest squads, not only in Africa but the world. So I do think that they will go there. Norway in their first World Cup in years. I think they finished third, but they could even finish second. The likes of Holland and Odegaard might push them as far as possible, but that's how I think they will go. I don't think Norway would get knocked out. I think they will make it into the next round as one of the third best placed teams. Group J, we've got Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Argentina are the defending champions. Obviously, the spotlight isn't on them as much, but players like obviously Messi would be expected to perform and go as far as possible. Like I said, France is another one that is one of the favorites. Argentina are favorites, but not as much as the previous World Cup because, I mean, the players are aging. There aren't really as much. There isn't really as much hype on Argentina as before. So I'm going to go, but I do think they will top this group. I think they get 9 out of 9. And then second, I go Austria because I do think that they can get something out of the game against Algeria. The big game in this group is going to be Algeria versus Austria to see who will get that second spot. And then Algeria. The likes of Mahrez are there. I don't think their attack is like that good that will push them through. But in terms of their defense, they had one of the best defenses in AFCON last year. And that could actually push them through. And then Jordan last. They also just need to make sure that they don't get battered in these games. Group K, Portugal, Congo, Uzbekistan, Colombia. Another one where I think all three teams can go through. Where three teams can actually go through here. Portugal, another one of the favorites. Ronaldo in his possible last World Cup. Along with the likes of Vitinha, Neves, Rafa Leao, Neto, just a very good squad, just in general. And I think they're also one of the favorites in this one. And then I think it's also very interchangeable. The big game here would be Congo versus Colombia. I think that Congo can actually get that second spot. They're a very resolute team. They had to qualify in the longest way possible by going through external qualifiers and having to beat the likes of Jamaica and Nigeria to go through. And I think with their resolute defense, they can actually sneak a couple of wins here. Then I got Colombia in third, and then Uzbekistan last. And the final group, we've got England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. I think based on how England picked their squad, they're going very conservative. So they're not trying to win in style, but they're trying to win in the most effective way possible. But in this group, I do think that they will. I think they finished second. I think they finished second. I think Croatia, who always do well at these tournaments, they were in the semifinals for the past two World Cups, 2018 and 2022. I do think that they can actually top this group. Then obviously I go England. I think they're very strong. They obviously you can't write them out. Obviously outside favorites. Then I go Ghana. They should hope to be. They should try to be one of the third place best placed teams. Okay, and then it says pick the third place teams. Select 8 out of the 12 that will go through to the group stage. Okay. So now let's continue. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. So pick 8. I'm gonna go Norway, Scotland. Ooh, it's actually tough. I think Norway will make it. I think Colombia also make it. I think Ecuador make it. Um, I think South Africa make it. Could Scotland make it? I think Ghana make it also. Um, ooh, it's tough. Sweden, I think, could actually make it in their group. I've picked 6. There's 2 more. I think Algeria could also make it. Let's see what other ones are there. I think Algeria make it, and I think Australia, based on their group, can make it. But yeah, that is literally what I think in terms of the group stage. I will go back when obviously the group stage is complete so that I can do a video on just seeing how my predictions went. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about the World Cup 2026.